Welcome back. We are joined by laser implant specialist Dr. Preety Desai on this Friday afternoon. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much.
Yes, we are talking today about gummy smiles. A small percentage of the population suffers from this. It's when you smile really wide, but you have more gums showing than you want along the top especially.
Yes.
Do you have people coming to you with this?
All the time.
Okay.
This is one of the most common procedures that we do, often post-orthodontics. And you kind of have to look at the smile as a picture frame. And so appropriate that Carla's here today, that the frame is your lips. And if the teeth and gums are misaligned, it's like the proportion and the sizing and the alignment of the picture in the frame is off a little bit. So something doesn't quite look right. It doesn't all fit together lovely.
And it can really bother the person.
Very much so.
Yes.
And there were studies done on the perception of how off it has to be before a person is bothered by it. And so a person will be bothered by about 4 millimeters, which is very minuscule, but that's enough to catch it with your eye when you look in the mirror.
How high have you seen it go up when it's from the tooth to the gum?
Oh, I've seen 15, 16 millimeters.
That's substantial.
But there's different causes for it too, right? So something that extreme is perhaps a genetic thing in the sense of you inherit traits for both parents, so they don't quite fit together like a jigsaw puzzle in the frame. So the teeth could be too big, the gums are too small, or vice versa, and how they actually fit together in the lip area is what sets it off.
We have some pictures that we can refer to as well for today that maybe we'll start with. So tell me about this picture.
So this is a very minor gummy smile. When the person smiles, the alignment is off. As you can see, the gums are not nice and even. And this is post-orthodontics, where the teeth have been aligned in a beautiful position and they fit great, but the gums have not adapted to this new tooth position. So you kind of retroactively, it's like a little renovation. You just kind of work around the beautiful smile of the teeth.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is how we do some planning and take a study model, which a lot of people in orthodontics or with crowns and bridges will recognize, that jelly in your mouth. And then we just use it as a framework, kind of like what Carla does. We outline what we need to do.
Right, just a different way of doing it.
And this is before and after, where things are nicely aligned and very little had to be taken off in order to have an evenness and a symmetry.
And that's what I'm hoping we can get to next. There is a huge difference here.
Yes.
Really, like,
and the
huge.
actual surgery is very minimal.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I just wonder, what is it that you do to minimize the gum? Like, how are you changing that? I don't understand.
Basically, we're lasering the tissue, the soft tissue, but underneath, if, for example, we do a kitchen renovation, you find things underneath that are a little bit more than we expected.
Right.
The bone underneath also has to be adjusted so that the gums stay where we want them to stay.
Okay.
If we adjust just superficially and leave the bone as is, it's going to come back. It does, because that's what the body wanted in the first place.
Sure. And is that a painful experience? I mean, how does that go?
Oh, not at all. In fact, a lot of times you don't need stitches. And you maybe use a little bit of tissue glue at the most. And if you really need Advil or Tylenol, but very rarely.
So that's the worst of it, Advil or Tylenol?
It's really, really minor.
Is it a timely procedure?
It can be, depending on how far across the smile corridor that we're going. If it's the front 6 teeth, it can take maybe half an hour to 45 minutes to maximum an hour if the bone needs to be adjusted. Or if you go further, because some people have a very broad smile, and you can see down, we call it the corridor, the buccal corridor.
The sides?
The sides, you can
corridor.
actually see it. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can, so it has to basically fill the frame nicely with symmetry.
Okay. Is everyone that has this problem a candidate, or are some people not good candidates for this?
There's different ways to treat it. So the majority of people can be taken care of with this kind of minor procedure. People after orthodontics or during orthodontics will have a suggestion of jaw surgery. Sometimes it's too extensive, and then the whole position of the jaw needs to be altered, not just the teeth and the gums.
Okay.
So that's where jaw surgery comes in.
So you've done this a few times in terms of...
Yeah.
And generally speaking, people come out of this pretty happy.
Very satisfied. It's actually one of the most satisfying things I do.
Is that right?
A lot of stuff is, you know, not pretty and smiley.
No.
It's health-oriented.
And you don't necessarily see results. You might feel them if you had to have a root canal or whatever, but this is something that's going to change your overall smile.
It's amazing the feedback that we get
Yeah.
from people. Post-orthodontics for sure.
Yes.
And also some young people have adapted their lip structure
Yes.
and stress to cover their gummy smile, and they don't even realize it. So when they have a beautiful smile, their whole face lights up, and it really is so nice to see.
And this procedure is called a gingivectomy. Is that what it's called?
We call it aesthetic crown lengthening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's aesthetic. Obviously,
Okay.
it's in the front of your mouth. And we, in essence, change the framework so the teeth look longer, so the crowns look longer.
Awesome. Great to know. I didn't know this was something that could be done. And yeah, for people who suffer from this and want to get a look at their situation, they can certainly give Dr. Desai a call, or certainly look online as well. But the options are there, and Preety would love to hear from you, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Information on the screen, camelsperiodontists.com, as well as the phone number 778-471-6001. Stay with us.